Senator Warren,
that doesn't build an economy.
When you talk about balance, it makes me think about your recent comments on Social Security. When I think about imbalance, I think about our children. In the next 10 years, between Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security spending, it's going to grow to $780 billion. We're spending on children is $20 billion. Are you not worried about our kids? Why should these senior citizens be getting more money?
Look, of course I am worried about our children, and I want to see more investment in our children. This is what we should be doing in our budget right now. We should be making the investments in their education in preschool. We should be making the investments in college, and we should be refinancing student loans so that students are not crushed. We also need to build an economy that's going to produce jobs for their parents and jobs for them as they grow up. But we cannot ignore the fact that we have a retirement crisis in the United States right now. We have a crisis in part because middle-class families have been able to save much less now than they did a generation ago. And the 2008 crash put them in a worse hole.
But then why not means test?
Let's finish, though. But what's critical here is on Social Security to keep in mind. Social Security is not driving our deficit. Social Security is a system that pays for itself. If we did absolutely nothing to Social Security, we would make payments for more than 20 years exactly at this level. Then they would drop by roughly about 25% and pay forever into the future. Now, I don't say that because I think we shouldn't do something, but what it means is that we can make modest adjustments now in Social Security, make sure that it will be there to pay on into the future, and if we make some more adjustments, we could see an increase in Social Security benefits for those who count on it. But what we have to remember is that right now, when we are in the middle of a retirement crisis, the last thing we should be talking about is cutting Social Security. Right now, 2 out of 3 seniors relies on Social Security to keep a roof over their head and put groceries on the table. For 14 million seniors, Social Security is all that stands between them and poverty. We cannot cut the Social Security system.
Senator Warren, forgive me for jumping in. You say that seniors face a retirement crisis, but people who have studied the federal budget, and you have as well, recognize that we are also facing an entitlements crisis. Be specific with me. What kinds of reforms would you support to address the entitlements crisis?
Well, now, let's be clear about this. Social Security is not creating a deficit in our budget right now or in the future. So let's just pull that one out of it, because that is not a conversation. If you want to talk about the crisis we've got in Medicare, and we do have a crisis there, the central crisis we've got is we've got a health care cost crisis. And the answer with Medicare is not that we have to say we're going to slash benefits, because think about it. You can slash benefits, but people are still going to have heart attacks. They're still going to have strokes. They're still going to have diabetes. Only the difference is they'll go to the emergency room and get worse treatment at higher costs. So this is a place where the pieces fit together. The Affordable Care Act.
Senator Warren, we only have another
down the cost of health care.
Minute. Can I just...
You asked me how to refine this, and the answer is that is part of it. It's an important part of it.
And why not means test? Right now, 30-year-olds have less money than they did 10 years ago, while senior citizens' net worth has gone up. Why not means test? There's plenty of millionaire senior citizens out there.
You know, we built a Social Security system in which everybody paid in return for a certain guaranteed set of benefits. And we could talk about adjusting that, but I think that's the core of what Social Security is about. But what's key for me is we're not talking about cutting benefits. We are not talking about cutting benefits in Social Security at a time when literally millions and millions of Americans rely on it. That has to be the starting place.
But this tax hike would be affecting millennials and Gen X. They're going to be the ones paying for it, correct?
Look, whatever we end up doing with the Social Security system will help those who have Social Security now. Remember what I said. If we did nothing, there's enough money in the Social Security that current retirees and those nearing retirement have paid into the system that it could go for more than 20 years without making any adjustment in the benefits. If we make some adjustments, we make sure the Social Security system is there forever into the future. And when I say forever into the future, that means for people who today are 50, and people who are 40, and people who are 30, and people who are 20. That's the point, is to build a long-term, sustainable system. We're not that far off from it. We make some adjustments. We get it to the right place. And frankly, that's exactly what we should be doing. That needs to be the center of the bullseye. That's where we need to aim.
Senator Warren, I will remember what you said. I know you've also said you wouldn't run for president, but I remember in 2006, Barack Obama also said that. Is there absolutely no circumstance when you, Senator Warren, would run to be president of the United States?
I am not running for president of the United States. I am working my heart out